Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Dave from Horizon Fish Keeping, and obviously Happy New Year. It's 2023 now. I haven't been on my channel for a while. I've been sort of away of doing family things and all that sort of stuff, Christmas and all that. First of all, welcome back. Thanks for all the subscribers that I've had recently. There's been a ton of you. I know I'm only at 80 subscribers as it stands now. I'd love to hit the 100 mark, so if you guys would just like to press the subscribe button, that'd be amazing. Leave comments and likes and whatever else, and share the love. You know, we're all in it together, sort of thing, with this fish keeping game. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do like a video for beginners on breeding guppies. I've been wanting to do this video for a little while now, and I've never sort of got around to it. But I've got a tank here that's set up anyway. I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see what I see. I'm just going to go through the basics on how to set the tank up, the water parameters, the ratios of fish and all that sort of stuff. If you're an experienced fish keeper, you're probably not going to enjoy this video, but just chuck us a subscribe anyway, just for subscribing, and hopefully the beginners will get some information out of this, and it'll just help you on your way. If you are sort of keeping guppies at the moment and you're feeling like you might want to start breeding fish, or if you've just got fry randomly turned up in your tank, then hopefully this will be a bit of a guide on how to get through, you know, having fry that you didn't have before, or trying to get fry that you didn't have before, and hopefully this sort of thing helps, and you know, you can get some information back from that. This is, like I say, a real basic video on how to breed guppies and what ratios you need and that type of thing. What, you know, I feed like baby brine shrimp and all that sort of stuff. So just like stick around to the end of the video, guys. That really helps with the algorithms and things. Also, so does liking and subscribing with me. That'd be awesome. I wanted to get to about 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, so that'd really help me out as well. And I hope you enjoy the video, so I'll see you on the flip side. This is the little setup that I've got. Just a little tank. It's I think it's 19 litres or 20 something litres, 22 litres maybe. And it looks quite complicated as it's set up there, but as a beginner looking into this, you might think, Jesus Christ, there's pipes going everywhere, there's wires. There's quite a lot going on there, but I use this tank. It's just a well established tank that I know I can use for breeding smaller fish, endler guppies, you know, rasboras, that type of thing. And for some reason in this tank, they just always spawn. Like I say, it's really mature. I water change it sort of once every 2 or 3 weeks, and the water quality never swings. The pH is always fine. There's never, you know, nitrites or ammonia in this tank. It's really well established. I know it's one of the smaller ones, but I just use this sort of thing for breeding or bringing up small fry. If I've got small rainbow fry out like that, I'll chuck them in this. I've also got a breeding setup in another room as well, so I'll just show you what's going on in this tank and how you want to set up your tank for breeding any type of guppies, really. I won't go much bigger than a guppy in this size tank. You know, if you're doing sort of mollies, blue mollies, anything like that, you know, platies, you want to have a bigger water volume. I'd probably go up to about, you know, you want to be at sort of like near, you know, 100 litres minimum, because the fish do get quite big. With a guppy, they're quite small and they're not going to stay in this tank. I'm actually doing this project here just to fill up. I've just got a 150 litre tank. I'm just going to do sort of guppy only, you know, just a planted tank. So that's my little project for that coming up. Right, so as you can see there, it's just a deep gravel substrate. It doesn't look that deep, but because the tank's so small, there's plenty of substrate in there for the bacteria to be cycled. And like I say, it's been established for a good while. You can see by the Java moss that were a small sprig. Sorry for the reflections. I've just got a window right in front of me, so and obviously I've got plants growing in here, and this will help with the nitrification. So it'll take the nitrates out of the water once the cycle's complete. If you do want to look into anything with cycling aquarium, I am going to put a video up about that, but there's plenty on YouTube at the moment, sort of discussing the cycling of aquariums, and you know, how to build the bacteria and additives that you can put in and all that sort of thing. But if you do have any questions, feel free to message me or add a comment below, and I will get back to you pretty quickly, and we'll talk about that. So in this tank, obviously you can see I've got some bogwood in there. and that's just got moss, that's just got hair algae growing all over it at the minute, as you can probably tell there. So I mean, that's a good sign that your tank's pretty established. If you're getting algae, it's not a bad thing. It's probably a better thing to have algae than not, because you know your tank's doing all right. And then I've also got a ton of floating plants, and that's just going to pull all the bad stuff out of the water and just keep it nice for the fish in there. As you can see there, so I've got guppies in here at the moment, and I've actually, the ratio that you should do with guppies is one male, so the male's just there, the really colourful one with the flame tail. He's a really nice looking guy. Sorry for the focusing, guys, because the fish are all different depths, it's focusing on whichever's closest. You can just see that guy there. So the one male there, and you want to do one male, preferably to 2 to 3 females. In this particular tank, I've got 5 females and 1 male, and I've only done that because I'm trying to get as many babies as I can. So obviously, if all these guys are pregnant, there's going to be tons of fry in the tank, and then what I'll do is I'll pull the adults out, put them back into the bigger tank, and then just wait for the fry to grow. I have also got another aquarium that I'm doing guppies in as well, so I'm hoping for around 200 fry in total to stock my own tank. So they'll be staying with me, and I'll be looking after them. They'll be my pets then. So as you can see, there's a good few females in there. They're all really healthy. You know, none of them have got clamp fins, and you can tell the females, it's going to be quite difficult to show you, but at the anal fin of the females, it'll go in a triangular shape like that, whereas the males is like a stick. So if you get a good look at the male there, he's got a gynapodium, which is a small stick that obviously impregnates the females, and the females on the anal fin just underneath there is in a triangular shape, and that's a good way to tell the males from the females. Also, another good way is the males tend to be more colourful. They can be exactly the same. On a wild type guppy, they're more or less looking sort of, you know, the greyish colour, sort of this kind of look, and then what you'll find is there's not much colour in them. But if you're going for sort of a fancier guppy like these ones here, they'll tend to be more colourful than males, and the females do have colour. They can be black, blue, you know, on the tails. They tend to be more grey, and they'll be larger in size as well. You'll find the males are a lot skinnier, and the females will be sort of more chunky, a little bit longer, and pretty much nearly double the size of the males. Obviously this guy looks quite big, but if you look at him carefully, his body's quite small, and it's actually his fins making up the mass of his body there, whereas the females, the majority of the female there is his body, and then the smaller tail. They can have sort of really big fantails on them. You can, you know, if you're selectively breeding these guys, you could have males with Dumbo fins, so the front fins are quite large, and then the top fin there can be quite long, and also the tail fin you can have them sort of fanned out or quite stumpy. There's lots of variations of the guppies, and also, you know, it's down to personal preference. I'm going for a sort of a mixed tank, so there'll be a mixture of different types. But this is the ideal setup. Basically, you want a higher balance of females to males, which I've got. So there's 5 females to 1 male. They are a just add water type of fish, so as long as your parameters are stable inside your aquarium, you'll find that these guys will breed, if you know, at some sort of rate. Usually within 30 days of adding the fish together like this in male and females, the females will obviously get pregnant, and then within sort of around 28 to 30 days they'll give birth to fry. The fry will be quite small. You might notice them, I usually notice them where there's an open patch in the top of the tank, so I'll just pop this off. Somewhere like there, I do have some medication in the water. Where the open area is there, you'll find the guppies will hang around there, the fry, so the babies, and that's, you can have pull the adults out, or you can move your fry to a different tank. So you can just see there, I've got loads of floating plants, and I've done this for the second part of why you're best off setting up a guppy breeding tank in this kind of way, because what you'll find is once the females have given birth to the fry, the babies will try and find places to hide. So obviously with my tank here, they've got under the wood to go. They can go around the back there. There's all the Java moss where the food will get stuck, and they'll peck at the bits of food in the Java moss there, and they can hide in between all that where the parents can't get in, because the parents can eat the babies, and they will if they're hungry. They'll chase after them, and they will. It's just one of them things in nature. They'll the mums and dads of the babies will try and eat the fry, and if they get them off sort of in the open, they will get hold of them. So you're best trying to make as much cover as possible. So I've got the Java moss there, a few little bits of plants and things that can hide, you know, underneath edges of that they'll hide, and then also if they come to the top, then they can hide in between all this floating plants. There's no sort of open areas at the top where the adults can get in and get them quickly, and that's the reason I do that. With the guppies, you do want to keep a good eye on your parameters, like all fish. So at the moment I've got this quite high in temperature. I've got it on about 27 degrees Celsius, which is roughly just under 80 Fahrenheit. You want to keep your pH quite high, so you want to be between 7 and 8, I would say, with all guppies. They do like the harder water, and also you know, you want some good hardness in your water, and also just keep away from, you know, you can have nitrate. I do have nitrates in my water because I use fertilizer for my plants, obviously, and that does add nitrate into the water. But anything sort of nitrite and ammonia with this stocking, I know this tank's established, I could probably put the same amount in again and it would not affect the ammonia levels or nitrite levels in the tank at all. But some, you know, if you're starting up a new tank, just make sure it is cycled, or you will find if you're putting this amount of fish in at the beginning without no plants, and it's a brand new tank, you just chuck gravel in, you'll get high ammonia and nitrite spikes in your water, and you're going to have plenty of fish dying. The babies probably won't survive, and if they do, they're going to, you know, they can get ammonia burns and things like that. So just make sure you've got your tank. It's been set up well. It's been set up for 1.5 years. And it's pretty much exactly the same as when I started it, apart from I've pulled some of the floating plants out as I go by, as I do water changes, and obviously I've trimmed down whatever else is inside. But yeah, if you keep your water parameters stable and you've got a good ratio of fish, if you have too many males, they will chase down the female too much and she'll just get worn out, and they won't breed as easy. You're better having the balance in the other way, where there's less males to females, that's for sure, and you should have some success. You might have noticed on the beginning of the video I had this going at the side. This is the Zis brine shrimp hatcher by the Zis brand. It's a really good product. I mean, it comes as it is sort of thing, you know, without the water and the brine shrimp eggs. Obviously you get the thermometer in there, and I'm just running that, and it's really good for feeding babies. And it's one of my triggers for my fish breeding. Feeding them this stuff, it's just like rocket fuel for them, and it'll just sort of spark them off. Even with a bigger fish, something like an angel, or, you know, if you've got bigger fish that you're wanting to breed, set up the breeding conditions as you've sort of read in books or whatever. And if you sort of feed the angel fish or whatever with your normal food, your cichlid tablets, pellets, whatever, and if you just throw, you know, one of these pipette things or whatever of brine shrimp in every now and again, and the fish will just go, you know, it's the fish think that it's sort of good food for the babies, and they'll spawn easier as well. So these guys absolutely go nuts for it. Once they find it, they'll be hammering into that, and they'll just sort of swim around it because it is a live food. I mean, you can drain this. This is brine shrimp eggs in salt water, so I mean, I just put the salt water in now and again. Sometimes I strain it out. I've got this strainer somewhere as well, and that sort of it's just a good food for fry, and it'll bring them up fast. They'll grow really well because it's full of protein. If you want to know more about that, I do have videos on my channel regarding, you know, the brine shrimp and the hatcher and how it all works and how it's set up and stuff, so you can go and check that out as well. But this is me for now anyway, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could just throw down a like and a comment, it'd be amazing. And also if you could subscribe. It's quite a new channel. I've only been going for about 6 months now, but I'm going to make more informative videos like this. I just thought I'd do a sort of beginner video for these, you know, people that want to get into fish keeping. Just sort of keep the hobby alive, really. I know some people might think, oh, why is Dave doing a Guppy video when he's been sort of fish keeping for a while, and I just think I've gone back to basics as well, and sometimes you just need that to refresh. It's nice to see a little fry and stuff in your tanks. So this is a day from Rising Fish Keeping. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.